Thanks for checking out the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to see your deck featured on the channel, hang out with me and the amazing BoshNRoll community on Discord, access to my lists and sideboard guides before tournaments, or book an individual coaching session, check out the Patreon and YouTube member links in the video description. Use the code BoshNRoll to get 10% off the best Magic apparel on the market at coalesceapparel.shop. If you want to play what I'm playing, use my affiliate link to order cards from tcgplayer.com, or play any deck, anytime, with a Magic Online loan account from cardhoarder.com. Thanks again for being here. Now let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel for another Legacy video. Today, what's old is new again, and Death Shadow is back in the metagame. This deck has won 2 of the last 5 or 6 online challenges, like literally straight up first place, in the hands of the same player, I believe. And the last time Death Shadow was really good was when Blue-Red Delver was really good, like Blue-Red X Delver, like Rug and Grixis. And the reason is that Death Shadow is really hard for those decks to kill. Once this thing is a 4/4, it's close to untouchable against red removal. They could like bounce it with their one of Brazen Borrower, but that's about it, and it's coming right back. Thoughtseize and Hymn to Turok, backed by all the counterspells. You got Stubborn Denial, Force of Will, and Daze in this deck. That gives you a lot of play against control decks and combo decks. And the deck just hits like a truck once you get set up. The weakness of this deck is white removal, especially Swords to Plowshares. A Swords to Plowshares, of course, makes you gain life in addition to removing your creature. When one of your creatures requires your life total to be low to be a functional body on the board, that becomes really dangerous. I've nicknamed that Swords to Plaguewind. If you Swords to Plowshares their Gurmag Gangler and it puts them over 13 life and also kills their Death Shadow. It's a play I've made many times in my life. But the Moto leagues right now are full of combo, and the Moto challenges right now are full of Blue-Red Delver, and those decks don't play Swords to Plowshares. It's a really good time to just have a gigundous black creature in play, backed by efficient counterspells and discard effects. This used to be a Delver deck, which doesn't seem to be the case anymore. It looks like we're leaning into the Delve threats of Murktide Regent. Gurmag Gangler's always been in the deck, but Murktide Regent is a new printing since the last time this deck was really good. This used to play Reanimate, like that was the sick tech, circa Pro Tour Magic 20, Magic's 20th anniversary, maybe 25th, I think it was 20th. Josh Utter-Layton played this at the Legacy portion of the Pro Tour, where Thoughtseize plus Reanimate was a highly efficient interactive play that also reduced your life total a lot. But looks like we're playing Delve threats now. Hard to argue with Murktide Regent in any Magic tournament at all, ever. This deck, requested by the way, from channel supporter Spunky, who we know and love and does a lot for this channel, and he dedicated it to his friend Lee Ji-sung, who is a huge Shadowhead in Modern and very excited that the deck is viable in Legacy. Lee Ji-sung is serving in the South Korean army right now, and shout out to him. This league is for you from your friend Spunky. I have played a lot of Shadow in Modern. I've played some Shadow in Legacy. Last time it was good. I actually have a photo, not even a screenshot, an actual photo from a paper tournament somewhere on Twitter, if you want to go dig it up, of I turn 1 Thoughtseized my opponent's Ulamog the Infinite Gyre, and then, or not the Infinite Gyre, that one shuffles away, Ulamog Ceaseless Hunger. I was playing against 12 post, and Thoughtseized their Ulamog the Ceaseless Hunger, turn 1, and then turn 2 reanimated it, and played a Death Shadow. That was sick. That game ended very quickly. I have some reps with this deck. I love that it gets to play Dress Down in the main. We all know I love this card. Normally I like it in control decks, but it does all the same things here. Plus, removing the text of Death Shadow makes it a 13/13 automatically. So it's also kind of a combat trick. It's really cool stuff all around. And lately I've been running into 3 to 5 combo decks per Moto League, and this deck really should just shred combo with all of the interaction we have backed by these cheap threats. I'm excited to try this. Let's jump in. Lead you sung. This is Death Shadow for you from your friend Spunky. Let's do it. I'm on the play in round 1. I think I'm going to keep this hand. It has lands and spells, and on the play, Stubborn Denial is a perfectly good force spike. If I need to survive this turn or interact somehow, and then Brainstorm hopefully can bring stuff together. There's no threat in this hand, which I don't really like. I wish I had started on Thoughtseize, you know. There's a lot of room for improvement, but this hand plays. Okay. I believe I'm going to just chill until I know what they're doing. We have a blue to delta strategy. Usually indicates combo, but could be any just generic mono blue mana base, Delver, whatever. Picking up Daze is nice, gives me another layer of protection. Island Marsh Flats, okay. Are we Blue-White Control? Are we Esper Vial? There are Baleful Strix coming my way. Shredderino, okay. I'm going to... I can hard cast Daze on this, or I can Brainstorm and then normal cast Daze, or I could just Fatal Push this idiot. I believe I'm just going to Fatal Push it. That sounds fine. So I'm going to fetch a Watery Grave. I'm going to give up the goat here. Show them what I'm up to. Cool. That just went in the graveyard without conniving. Good stuff. Snuff out. Brainstorm. Let's do it. There's a Shadow. Not sure if Wasteland's going to find a target. Like, it could be a deck that only has the 2 basics, or there could be more coming. I can get myself to 14 life right now. That's not enough. I wish I had this Snuff out in time. Okay. I'm going to put back the Wasteland and the Underground Sea. Do I need a 3rd land? With Daze, I just kind of want every one of these spells. As much as I'd like to hit a land drop. Maybe I'll just put the Shadow on top of the Wasteland, make my land drop for the turn, and then spend this next turn cycle reducing my life total. Tainted Indulgence, cool. Maybe I wanted to Stubborn Denial that. I'm not really sure what's going on here. Lake of the Dead, my god. What is going on over there? A Death Shadow is on top of my deck with Wasteland under it. I can draw the Shadow here and then Brainstorm, see what happens. I put back these 2 lands. I'm going to fetch and then cast Preordain. Working on my life total here. Love to find a Thoughtseize. Oh, or 2. I'll take both of those, thanks. Let's have a look. Archon of Cruelty, Dark Ritual, Tainted Indulgence, Intuition. Okay. We are definitely some sort of combo deck. I think I want to take this Tainted Indulgence. Are there 5 mana values yet? There are 2. Not even close. A Dark Ritual could make it 3. Intuition's probably good. I'm going to take the Indulgence, though. That seems like it's also an enabler for this Archon. This is some kind of Reanimator deck. Okay, there's Dark Ritual. There's Intuition. Do I want to let this resolve? Yeah, sure, whatever. You're going to get like 3 Thoughtseizes. Not even sure if that's good. 3 Demigod of Revenge. Tilt? Okay. I've made a huge mistake. Alright. Now I see what they're doing, and I'm in a lot of trouble. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Yeah, I'm just fucking dead. I just wasn't ready. Okay, there's nothing I can do about the demigods in the graveyard. Here's a trick, though, by the way. If you haven't played against this before, Demigod of Revenge is a trigger. If you counter the demigod before the trigger resolves, it will return itself to its own trigger, because it returns all Demigod of Revenges from the graveyard. So you have to let the trigger resolve first, and then cast your counter spells. I don't believe I can win this game at 1 life. I'm just going to concede rather than showing them the show and tell, or the force of will. All right, lesson learned. I was not ready for Intuition for triple demigod. Maybe it all makes perfect sense now that I see it. Like Lake of the Dead, why is that card in your deck in multiples? Like, I get it, but not sure if it was reasonable to predict that. Okay, lesson learned. Demigod is a red card for Hydroblast. Surgical looks really good here. Yeah, maybe if I take Intuition, I just win that game. Or if I force Intuition, I just easily win that game. Could they have cast they could not quite cast the Archon. Yeah. Maybe I fucked around and I found out, is what I'm saying. Okay, we did see Ledger Shredder, though Fatal Push is probably not really where I want to be. Summer Denial is actually really good. Yeah, I like Snuff Out. Dress Down can take the haste off of a creature, but off of the demigods, but I don't think that's how I want to play the game. Force of Negation. Check some boxes here. Brazen Borrower can remove a Archon of Cruelty. Yeah, it sucks that I have to respect Ledger Shredder. I don't want to do that, but I think it's necessary. They're a huge mana deck between the fields or the Lakes of the Dead and the Dark Rituals. I don't know if I can trust Days. I'll upgrade those into hard counters and hard graveyard interaction. Do I want Brazen Borrower? And if I do, what's it replacing? Yeah, maybe Snuff Out. Like, Snuff Out is only non-black creature. Brazen Borrower also interacts with Ledger Shredder. Alright, I'm going to try this. That game was totally winnable, but they had the Brewers advantage. This hand is nutties. I'm going to keep it. Okay, I'm going to cycle Street Wraith first, so I have as much information as I'm going to get. Then let's Thoughtseize. 2 Tainted Indulgence, 2 Ponders. I could Surgical Extraction Ponder in their draw step, get 2 cards off of it, and they're kind of stuck on this Tainted Indulgence. Or I could let them develop, and I could just clear the demigods now, but I don't think I need or want to do that. I think I want to beat up their Ponders, because I also have these other Thoughtseizes. I take a Ponder and then stop in their draw step. I wouldn't extract Ponder if they didn't have a second copy. Don't even know if I would take Ponder if they didn't have a second copy for me to extract. But this is kind of rules. Gives me Death Shadow next turn. Through Brainstorm. Disappointing. That removes my ability to beat them up the way I wanted to. We've got Swords to Plowshares in the deck. Yikes. The Fairy Time Raveler, Void Rend. Apparently we're an Esper deck. I wonder how much of that came out of the sideboard. But okay. Alright, here we are. Love to draw a land so I can Thoughtseize to back up my Death Shadow. Into Turok. I think getting Shadow into play is the better start here. Play this 1/1, and then Thoughtseize makes it bigger next turn. There's Scrubland. Tainted Indulgence is an instant. Confirmed. Alright, Thoughtseize you. Being stuck on one land here kind of sucks, but all good. I think I want to take the Brainstorm. That changes the most in their hand. Draw 2, discard. Yeah, this is just a... The Tainted Indulgence is just filtering. So is Brainstorm, though. Brainstorm filters more, but Indulgence gave it in the graveyard. Brainstorm's the unique effect. Just having 2 Indulgences makes it kind of less exciting. They get to indulge here. There are 2 mana values in their graveyard. The Indulgence itself will make it 3. The Demigod will make it 4. This is pretty close to just draw 2. Found another Brainstorm. Rufine's Tower is awkward. This card is pretty bad. Just as a legacy playable land. All these Triomes. Like this is not really what they're in the deck for. You want to fetch them when it wouldn't have mattered anyway, or cycle it later. Thoughtseizing me, okay. I have like pretty high confidence they just put Rufine's Tower back into the deck with this Brainstorm. Might even fetch it with the Marsh Flats. I bet their Thoughtseize is going to take my Thoughtseize. Unless they're worried about me ripping the land for him to Turok. Yeah, took my Thoughtseize. That makes sense. Alright, let's rip the land for him to Turok. Ooh, okay. In we go. I'm going to attack with this one first. If they have Swords to Plowshares, I am obliterated, but I have to get on this board right now. Okay. Shields are down. Not fetching the end step. They liked whatever was in the graveyard. Come on, deck. Alright, that's a relief. Okay, they're on a 1-turn clock, and they have to get through this Force of Will. Demigod does do the trick. I guess they would need a 3rd Demigod. Like Tainted Indulgence, discarding a demigod and then drawing another one would do it. Oh yeah, this I've learned my lesson here. We're not doing that. Okay, I'm all in. Swords of Plowshares stabilizes the board in a way that I probably am not coming back from. A demigod deals 10 to me, and I'm at 9. There's a Tainted Indulgence with the full Con Queso, yeah. Because Intuition was the missing mana value. That was just straight up draw 2. Yeah, okay. Got away with that one. Yikes. That was stressful. Knowing they're a white deck also kind of sucks. Do I want to rock in? And that's usually for longer games. Probably not. I'm not going to Court of Cunning against the Demigod of Revenge deck. Alright, I'm going to chill right here with same deck. If they plow, they plow. I got Murktides and Gurmags to fight against that. And I have some potent sideboard cards like Grafdigger's Cage. We haven't seen a way for them to really win through Grafdigger's Cage. We've seen Teferi that can bounce it. I'm going to keep this hand with the interaction in the Wastelands. Now I know that they do care about Wasteland. I've seen their deck. They're a Lake of the Dead deck. There's some good targets. They have Rafine's Tower in there. Like that's a good target for Wasteland. A Watery Grave and Preordain. A bottom Scalding Tarn. I'm going to top Stubborn Denial. I think that card's actually good. Especially with the double Wasteland hand. Like, if Mana Denial is part of my plan, then 4 spikes get better. Put them all to 5, by the way. Thoughtseize, that's going to resolve. I'm not going to give them 2 cards by forcing it. Yeah, it's interesting, because Brainstorm is the best card in my hand, and I do actually have 2 counter spells. So, like, they can take Brainstorm and know what they need to fight through, or they could take Force of Will, which is the hard counter, and then let me Brainstorm and maybe completely change my hand. Yeah, taking the Brainstorm is probably the smart play here. Murktide Regent. Okay. Don't mind if I do. I'm going to play out a Wasteland, because there is a trick here where if they try to, like, Thoughtseize me or Dark Ritual, I can Wasteland their Polluted Delta, and then Stubborn Denial the spell in response to them fetching. Alright, they didn't fall for that. It's fine. Brainstorm's gonna resolve. Regrettably. Murktide being blue for Force of Will is a nice little buffer as well, in case I need to do 2 things. Alright, Brainstorm no land. I did find a land. They don't know about this. I think maximizing for Brainstorm and maximizing for Murktide Regent with the fetch lands are both worth doing. Like, give up the information. I have 1 unknown card right now, and it's Murktide Regent. But I'd rather play the game correctly than hide the fact I drew a fetch land. Malevolent Hermit. Yikes. Can't Stubborn Denial that one. Got it. Oh, look at that. Immediately rewarded for playing correctly. Credit where it's due, and give it to me now. Okay. Wasteland and Watery Grave can go into the deck. And then Underground Sea, and Fetch Shock for a Watery Grave. I want to be a little careful with my life total, but I also want to make sure that my cards actually work when I draw them. I'm going to go for the Hymn to Turok here. This might help them. They are kind of a graveyard deck. We hit a Brainstorm. We also hit a Demigod, but taking the Brainstorm, probably worth it. And I can Murktide through the Malevolent Hermit on future turns, but Hymn to Turok is going to get locked down quickly. Another Wasteland. Does that benefit me being in play? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess Malevolent Hermit's in play, so every mana source matters. Yeah, so I can Force of Will and pay for the Malevolent Hermit's extra 3 if I need to. Stubborn Denial is also ferocious right now. I'm going to be pretty aggressive with my stubs. It looks like they're just working through their Brainstorm lock. Pondering is worth it here. Oh yeah. Getting a Thoughtseize in right now, knowing exactly what they're up to. 2 counterspell backup. Seize your thoughts. Let me see them. They can use Hermit on this. Okay, ooh. There is a second Demigod. Dark Ritual is close to making that happen. Yeah, I think I just want to take the Demigod. It sucks if they draw another one, but yeah, I'm doing that. I can Stubborn Denial the Intuition through Malevolent Hermit right now, and they are on a very short clock. My top card is Ponder. Now they're starting to attack. They didn't want to put me below 13 life, but now with a fetch land in play and being at 13, I can just get there anyway. They would need to draw Swords of Plowshares and a white source. Okay. I now know what you've drawn. Nope. Stubborn Denial that. I don't need to wasteland them in their end step. I can do that on my turn. What's the rush? Surgical Extraction. What do I think the best way to win this game is? I think probably Surgical Extraction. Oh, I can just win right now. If I extract my own Ponder, it makes Murktide a 9/9. Yeah, okay. That's the cleanest thing. It's also freaking cool. Surgical Extract Ponder. Yeah! Found those extra 2 points. Shock us both. I take 2, you take 2. That was kind of a showcase of how this deck kind of obliterates combo. I lost game 1 only because they had Brewer's Advantage and I wasn't expecting Demigod. Could have easily won that game as well. But yeah, just efficient threats, efficient interaction. Easy game. On to the next one. For the absolute best Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, check out the link in the video description to coalesceapparel.shop and be sure to use the code BoshNRoll for 10% off when you check out. On the draw for round 2, I'm going to keep this one. It has 2 lands and a bunch of 1-mana spells. What else do you want? If I get turn 1'd, I would have wanted a force, I guess, but this hand's extremely good if it gets a turn. Arid Mesa, Lotus Petal. Uh-oh, bad news. Home team. I am not ready for Chalice of the Void. Oh, it's Show and Tell? Zoinks! My life is pain. I'm just gonna put in Polluted Delta and die. Okay, got it. Understood. Never losing this game on the play, losing it on the spot on the draw. You got me. Okay. The good news is this matchup's great. I just need to get a turn to cast any spells. Okay, Snuff Out and Fatal Push are all bad. Hydroblast hits Sneak Attack and any Red Blast type stuff they might have. I do like Surgical Extraction in matchups like this. When I have Thoughtseize and I can take a Grizzlebrand or Emrakul and then extract all of them from the deck, there is a reasonable line to run them out of threats. I guess Dress Down plus Snuff Out technically answers Emrakul. Like, if they cast Show and Tell, I put in Dress Down, and then I can Snuff Out Emrakul. Still not pretty. Probably not where I want to be. Brazen Borrower, I believe, is better than Dress Down. Is there anything worse? I want all my threats. I want all my counter spells and discard spells. Yeah, Brazen Borrower is a threat. And Dress Down is neither a counter nor discard spell. I want all my Street Wraiths. I want to be able to get through my deck quickly. Alright, yep. This is the plan. I should have never said as long as I get a turn. Okay, I have a Thoughtseize. I have a bunch of interaction. I'm going to keep this. Opponent's on a Molly to 5. That's good news. I'm going to cycle my Wraith. Find a second Thoughtseize. That's good shit. Itcha. Oh, you are just like a straight up turbo version of this deck. Elvish and Simian Spirit Guides in the deck. Through the Breach. Yeah, this player is not goofing around. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to take the Emrakul. That one pays out Show and Tell off the top in a way that Through the Breach doesn't. As long as I can get this Garmag Angler into play before I'm dead, I'm feeling okay here. Kind of wanted another land there. I could Ponder, look for the other land. I think that's worth investing in. Got there. Do not shuffle my deck. Play the Scalding Tarn. I really wanted a fetch land to fuel out this Garmag. Watery Grave. I'll just let you know loud and clear that I'm Death Shadow. They drew another fucking Emrakul. Stop. Okay. Alright, I can Garmag next turn, hold up Stubborn Denial, and force some negation. I can force a negation this turn if I need to, and they will be dead 4 turns after that. I was 1 card short, but I drew it, so never punished. Underground Sea gives me Gurmag Angler. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could have cast the Gurmag by tapping my lands, but that takes me off Stubborn Denial. Not that I think my opponent is going to come up with threat and protection in 1 turn cycle, given the contents of their hand there. And now we're just going to ride this pony into the sunset. Surgical looking pretty bad right now. Would have been good earlier with the Thoughtseizes, just clipping the Emrakul, but missed the boat. Okay, they have 5 mana now. Trinosphere. Interesting. Do I care? I guess I can force a negation this. Like, if this resolves, I don't get 2 pieces of interaction up anyway. And losing the force unlocks the ponder. Shadow, okay. I can put them dead on board. Hide the Murktide. Draw the Shadow. Play Shadow. I have Stubborn Denial. That is on. And I can easily attack for 10 next turn between the Surgicals and the fetch land on top. There are 5 cards in hand. Need to be the 2 Spirit Guides, the Through the Breach, an Emrakul, and a protection spell. If I get dazed here, I'm quitting. It's over. They conceded before I could Surgical and look at their deck. Okay, they're some sort of crazy turbo version, which does affect how I mulligan at least. And it makes me less grouchy about getting turn 1 in game 1, because that just doesn't matter. Dress Down's really interesting versus Through the Breach, because it knocks haste off of the creature, then it just sort of dies in the end step. I don't think anything actually changes here. I just need to mulligan appropriately to prepare for a turn 1 situation. Hydroblast is even better than I thought it was, knowing they're Through the Breach deck. Okay, let's do it. Got to see a force in the opener. This is not a force. A mulligan. That's a force. I'm going to keep and put one of the Wastelands on the bottom. Ancient Tomb, Lotus Petal, here it comes, whatever it is. I'm going to force pitching Murktide. All right, let's hope this Wasteland just blanks them for a while. I am going to Wasteland first before pondering. They can rebuild easily. I'm in all sorts of trouble, but let's hope they can't. Daze is nice. Good pickup there. I'm going to get Watery Grave, start working towards the Shadow in my hand. Force of Will and Street Wraith. Okay. I'm going to draw the Street Wraith and let that kind of chill in my hand. In case they do have a discard spell, just Hiding Force. I don't expect a discard spell. I don't know. Even like Surgical Extraction, though, if they extract my forces, would be annoying. Okay. I can cycle Wraith, pick up that land, fetch Shock, make Death Shadow. Now I have a threat in play and 2 counterspell backups. 1 hard, 1 soft, but they haven't hit a land drop since turn 2. Fiery Islet, probably not the land drop they wanted. Right, finding a blue card means I get to cast Ponder. Really interested in a Thoughtseize here. Or I could just like push the damage into the ground. Pick up this Street Wraith, cycle it into this Fetch Shock. It's just a ton of damage. That puts you on that significantly shorter clock. So if they tap Fiery Islet, they go to 9. If they tap it, they're probably casting a spell, which means I can daze, pick up a shock land, and then shock in. Okay, if they tap Ancient Tomb, they die. Alright, I'm gonna force pitching Brainstorm and leave up the daze in case they Red Blast me here. But they got nothing. Just picking apart another combo deck. As long as I have a chance to interact, this deck's very good at it. This might be a quick league. On to the next one. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. On the play in round 3, have to mulligan this heartbreaking no-lander. I'm going to keep this, and I'll probably send one of the Street Wraiths to the bottom. Murktide is my blue card. Fatal Push is polarized, like it's either great or blank. But I think I'm willing to roll the dice on that. I'm going to keep in bottom our Wraith. Cycle this Wraith. And tell me what you're up to, opponent. Please don't show me a Wasteland. Okay, no Wasteland. Oh, Kolaghan's Command and Swords to Plowshares. All right, we are doing some sort of check pile thing. 4-color nonsense. I guess I'm taking one of the Brainstorms. I could take the Swords to Plowshares, but no, I'm going to take one of the Brainstorms. This deck is probably a terrible matchup. They're going to have Swords to Plowshares and Expressive Iteration. That's so much. If I can get Wasteland up under them, that's a reasonable path to victory. Ponder needs to hit. I will take another land here. Probably don't want Daze. So it is a blue card. I can force their Swords to Plowshares, but they have their own force over there. Yeah, I can't rely on that. I'm probably going to shuffle away. Made their Flooded Strand. I'm going to fetch Shock in the end step. Love a Brainstorm. These two remove Motobug, Drew the Daze. Okay. Like I said about the Fatal Push being a polarized card, sometimes it sucks, sometimes it's great. We're in a matchup where it sucks, and I really wish I had kept Straight Wraith instead of this on my mulligan, but you can't know that from where you're standing at the time that I made that decision. Here's a Brainstorm and a fetch. Get rid of those cards. That's how that works. Usually the only creature in this deck is Snapcaster Mage. It is not really where you want to point a Snuff out. Ponder's fine. There's the third color. Did not shuffle Ponder. Okay, I mean, I can deploy this Murktide region, flush out the Swords to Plowshares, or just wait. I should probably wait. There's Thoughtseize and Hymn to Tarok in my deck. A Brainstorm would be great. Just fix these removal spells, turn them into interaction. This is the flip side, though. Like, we spent 2 matches just like, LOL, opponent can't do anything, and now we're looking at a hand of Swords to Plowshares with Force of Will back up against our 1 threat and soft counters. It's like, okay, this is the flip side. Though important to note, if this Swords to Plowshares was Prismatic Ending or Lightning Bolt or Fatal Push or Abrupt Decay or like most of the other played removal in the format, it would not be able to hit this Murktide Regent, and I could punch Murktide through their force with my force and then just ride. So it is specifically Swords to Plowshares here, causing trouble. Found land number 4. Okay, so we're just slamming Jace. What's going on here? Oh, Hymn to Tarok is what's happening to me. Alright, please hit the removal spells. Nope, hit the Murktide and the Daze. Great. The worst possible timeline. I don't think there's any world where you fight over that Hymn to Tarok with Force of Will, because then you're like guaranteed to lose the Daze and the Force, where 2/5 of my hand I'm happy to see go. Not like I want to be down cards, but as far as functionality in the game goes, I have 2 really big blanks. Here's Thoughtseize right on time. Right after I lose my Murktide. Hymn to Tarok is cheating. Heart's so messed up. Oh, we have Teferi also. Yikes. Well, I'm going to take Teferi. I can't beat that one either. At least Swords to Plowshares is a 1-for-1 when it happens. And I just accidentally deleted all of the cards that we've seen. I'm going to do my best to remember them. It's Swords to Plowshares, K-Command, Force of Will. I've already forgotten. Alright, Brazen Power. You're going to just slam straight into a Kolaghan's Command. So I'm going to hold on to that. They can also hardcast Force now. Looks like they were thinking about K-Command. They floated some mana and then backed off it. Yeah, this is not a good K-Command right now. If they had a creature in the graveyard, maybe, like, make me discard, pick up a creature is just a solid 2-for-1. But deal 2 to you and make you discard, whatever. Instead, they went with Brainstorm and Mystic Sanctuary, probably picking up Hymn to Tarok. Oof. Alright, 50-50 again. Just take the removal spells this time. Got my Brazen Borrower and one of the removal spells. Another Thoughtseize. There's incentive to hold Thoughtseize until I have a threat and I can see their hand all at once, but also like, okay, force pitching. Baleful Strix. That's about as good as I could hope out of a Thoughtseize. So their hand is K Command and Swords to Plowshares right now. I got 2 cards instead of 1. Oh, I guess I don't know their whole hand. Oh, my blue cards. Okay. I'm not beating a Jace. That's why they Thoughtseized. Yeah, they brainstormed away the K Command probably and wanted to protect Jace. Yeah, they picked me apart there. I never really did anything. Never really had a chance to do anything even. Turok is coming in. Fatal Push and Snuff Out are all coming out. I think I need... Oh, Court of Cunning. Yeah, this is definitely a Court of Cunning matchup. Hydroblast can get Expressive Iteration, K Command. That might be good. I'm pretty sure I want Force of Negation. I just have to play like some sort of hyper tempo burn deck here. Daze is not going to be great. I want some in to keep them honest. We're also a Snapcaster deck, but not sure if Surgical's something I'm interested in. Guess we saw Jace the Mind Sculptor. That's a reason to keep a large number of Dazes in. But Dress Down is probably not going to be great. It can like counter a Snapcaster or push Death Shadow over a finish line, but I think Brazen Borrower is going to do more for me. Oh, Plague Engineer on Bird is pretty good. Getting through Baleful Strix is a problem. Okay. I talked myself into that one. I want my Plague Engineers. I think I can shave a Street Wraith. It's against the Swords to Plowshares deck. Do I shave Street Wraith or do I shave Shadow? Shadow can be a liability. Maybe it's crazy to board this card out, but I'm going to shave one. Feel free to lambast me in the comments. Yeah, I'm like trying to get a little bigger here. I'm not going to cut too many of those, but all right. And a Street Wraith. I'm just out of options. Okay, here we go. Now I know what I'm up against, know how I need to pace out the game. Let's hope Court of Cunning just carries. It's funny they resolved 2 Hymn to Taroks, and then they also got a free Hymn to Tarok in me drawing 2 removal spells against their creatureless deck. This hand slaps. Snapkeep. I am going to Thoughtseize on turn 1. There is some argument to wait till turn 2, and then you have more cards to look at, to like closer to your Court of Cunning. But I think I have enough discard and interaction in the deck that if I can like undercut a Ponder and just collapse their development or something like that, I want to do it. They're also their own discard deck. Look at this Inquisition right here. Thoughtseize. I'm going to take Inquisition. They have Force, Jace, and 4 lands. That's what's ahead of me here. Blue to Delta. Gonna Ponder. Love to find another Thoughtseize. I don't want these cards. Found a Brazen Borrower. Okay. Yeah, it sucks that they had 2 ways to cover Court of Cunning. So now I have to dance around it a little bit. Funny enough, if they Hymn to Tarok me and miss Murktide Regent, then I get to cast Murktide Regent. I might just have to go for the Court. And that gets them like Hellbent. It's the Force and Jace out of there, unless they drew something else. Maybe I'll give it one more turn. I can deploy a Brazen Borrower in the end step, and then that's an object in play. They can decide how they want to interact with that, and then gives me another turn to draw Thoughtseize and punch the Court through. Or Force of Will or something. Uh-oh. They have Teferi here. That's annoying. Baleful Strix. Okay. Now they don't need to care so much about anything. Still going to play the Borrower, because Baleful Strix can also take my Monarchy. If I draw the Thoughtseize, I want to offer the trade. Also, Murktide Regent is chilling here. Offer the trade. They accepted the trade. Alright, I guess I'll see if I can flush this Jace out, though. I feel like I'm in some trouble here. They just have Narset. Maybe they don't care. Alright, force pitching Jace. I'll take my little Hymn to Tarok there. Okay. That was... It's unfortunate it didn't resolve, but it's nice that we got to clear the Jace. Baleful Strix. Disappointing. Glad I brought in my Plague Engineers, but damn, that card is good. Force of Will. You asshole. I needed you last turn. Okay. Blooded Strand. Murktide Regent. We play Murktide. The Strix is in the way currently. Brazen Borrower. I don't really want to bounce a Strix. I have Force Blue card. if that matters. Strix and Murktide can just look at each other for a while until I draw a Plague Engineer. But this is where the game starts to fall apart. They're going to start expressive iterating, and I'm not going to force that when they already have 4 cards in hand and the board is stable. These decks are just built to obliterate decks like this one. Inquisition of Kozilek, okay. Well, at least that one's going to miss. There are 2 fetchable lands left in the deck. I will fetch them and cast this Brazen Borrower. And it is better as a 3-1, just bouncing Baleful Strix when they can replay it and draw a card right now. Not good. The Inquisition made me play weird, but it didn't actually get a card. You take those. And I have 5 mana, so I can hardcast Force once I untap. Looks like they have more spells to cast over there. A Brainstorm, that's a good one. And fetching right away. Mystic Sanctuary's on if they want that. Probably just a Swords to Plowshare. Is he up? Before my Force of Will's up. That's the time to do it. Preordain, bring me home. Don't even know what good cards are in the deck at this point. Bottom the Street Wraith, draw the Ponder. What am I drawing to? Probably the other court. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can get this Murktide region into play if I even want to. I'm going to attack with Brazen Borrower. See if they give me a clear landing pad for my Murktide. Okay, took that trade. God, Strix is so good. Is this what I've been doing to people all these years? Here we go. They know my hand is Force of Will. If they have anything at all, Snapcaster Mage, Swords to Plowshare, Sudden Edict, Pyroblast, I will. I'm drawing a land, and there's no fetchables left in my deck, so if they can remove this Murktide, I'm about ready to pack it up. Yeah, Teferi, Jace, also problems. Okay. Yeah, I'm good. We don't need to be miserable for another 15 minutes as we figure out how they're actually going to win. But I'm drawing a land, doesn't even fetch a card. Snapcaster Mage beating down, 3 cards still in their hand. Can't cast Shadow even if I draw because I'm going to be at 17 life. This is just the actual nightmare matchup. GG's opponent. On to the next one. I'm on the play in round number 4. I'm going to keep this hand. I have to decide if I want to leave up stubs or just start pondering. I think I'm going to leave up stubs for a turn. Their name is Goblin Team Leader, which stubbing an Aether Vial is as good as that's going to get in the matchup, if they actually are goblins. I don't know, we'll see. I'll have more information for my ponders. Oh my god, please cast Aether Vial. Vial, 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 Vial. Uh-oh. Well, it's Lackey. Alright, now I'm going to have to find a Fatal Push in 1 ponder or a Snuff Out in 2. Snuff Out. Gurmag Angler, okay. Get Underground Sea, cast my ponder, hope for the best. I have a lot of hits. That's not any of them. Shuffle this one. Another Underground Sea. Fetching would cost me life, but it would also remove a card I don't want to hit from my deck in a kind of desperate situation here. Alright, I'm gonna preserve my life total. Like a Snuff Out right now. Into Turok, 2 Brainstorms, that's not it. Snuff Out on the shuffle. But we could still get there. One more look. One more look. Oh no. I'm in trouble. I can Gurmag next turn, but depending on what comes out of this Lackey. Yeah, if they had Vial instead of Lackey, I can stub it and then waste the Cavern, and this game is a laugher. But instead, here we are. Matron. Okay, that's not bad. That gives me another round of looks, gives me a big blocker on this Gurmag Angler. I guess by round of looks, I mean nothing. Siege Gang Commander, setting up for next turn. Okay. They are going to Rashad and Port me. I'm likely going to Wasteland the Cavern of Souls. Oh wait, I need one more card in the graveyard. Alright, I can't do that. I do actually have to fetch for Gurmag. Yeah, I'm one short. Bummer. I would have loved to waste the Cavern. Got a shock in Watery Grave, and eat 5 cards and pay 2 mana. If I had fetched Watery Grave last turn, like I talked about doing, it would have let me Wasteland this turn. Oh, let's hope this Gurmag plus Daze holds up. Second Lackey, okay. Getting ready to go wide. This is my turn to find another removal spell, or a discard spell. I am doing good on lands. I've had enough of those. How about a Brainstorm? All right, I'll take a Ponder. Not mad about that. Thoughtseize and Street Wraith. Okay. I will take the Thoughtseize. And I'm going to get hit with one of these lackeys, probably. Okay, I can take the Siege Gang Commander. At least get that out of the mix. I'm going to Wasteland the Cavern. Seeing another Cavern in their hand kind of sucks, but slowing them down at all is good. Maybe I wanted to shuffle. Yeah, the top of my deck is Street Wraith, right? And maybe the shuffle was worth more, but having the 4-drop is concerning. They're going to snoop here. Snooping. There's a Wasteland on top. Did not want to sacrifice a lackey to push 2 damage and get Twin Shot Sniper into play. This is Street Wraith with Stubborn Denial under it, so I'm going to shuffle first. I'm going to get this land tapped. Just can't afford the life points here. Oh god, Motobug! There's only 2 of these. Alright, I'm pretty dead here. I had a lot of chances to pull ahead this game and simply did not do that instead. Maybe on the turn where I shuffled away a Brainstorm off my Ponder looking for Snuff Out, I should have just accepted the reality of the situation. I'm going to get double ported here, but they're still not attacking, which is worth a lot to me. If I could get a Shadow into play, this becomes like pretty exciting. Oh my god. Or I could just have 4 counter spells in my hand against the Cavern of Souls. I guess they kind of got to play like I have a fistful of Fatal Pushes, though. I'm going to float black. Make them think that I have a removal spell. Or at least pretend to represent that. And they're missing pretty hard on this Snoop, which I appreciate. Time to cast this Twin Shot Sniper. Yeah, this can't be countered. I deal 2 to my face. I would like to draw Brainstorm and Brainstorm into multiple Death Shadows, please. Okay, now I actually do have Fatal Push. So I'm going to stop in their draw step. That gives me a chance to see what they're drawing with Snoop and if I need to react. Running out of life points quickly, though. I guess maybe I'm supposed to do this now, because if they reveal the Sling Gang, I'm just dead anyway. Oh, Goblin Welder. That's fun. Alright, I'm going to push the Snoop before they can cast Welder. Yeah, I guess with Twin Shot Sniper and Aether Vial, they can like flip stuff around and get a cool engine going. Pretty sure their hand right now is just 3 mountains, right? Gonna get ported twice. Death Shadow is still a good draw. Brainstorm still a good draw. Force of Will. Just 5 counter spells versus Cavern of Souls. The classic Legacy experience. Can't attack because they have 5 power in play. If they find a Munitions Expert, I am dead. I know they just drew Goblin Welder, though. Okay. They're almost able to just attack and kill me. Ooh, here we go. They let me draw Shadow. Well, letting me draw is whatever. Like, they could still port me in my draw step, but I have Shadow now. That's a very real creature. Get in there, big guy. Not sure when I get to start attacking. I mean, if they find another Twin Shot Sniper, I'm just dead. Okay, I guess I'll wait a turn. Yeah, if they find like an Aether Vial, if they can channel a Twin Shot Sniper, I lose. Alright, now I'm just locked under Mana Denial. I guess I should fetch the tapped Watery Grave now, because I can't afford to shock it in, ever. And this is the world we live in now. 1 mana to play the whole game on. There's technically still Wastelands in the deck, I suppose. God. Okay. I'm not losing a game where I'm not attacking. If I attack, I block, go to 1. And then, I guess if they block with Twin Shot Sniper, then draw Aether Vial, I'm in trouble. Okay, I'm not winning a game where I'm not attacking, though. Death Shadow, let's go. Putting Matron under the bus. In reducing the material they have in play is good. And it wasn't Twin Shot Sniper. Alright, no mana for the rest of the game. Good. Good. Just how I want to play. Alright. Well, I have Force of Wills. I guess I could probably, like any spell that goes on the stack, even if it's uncounterable, I would daze it at this point. Then I can hold a land in my hand to play it and do something with immediately. Okay. If they have another Twin Shot Sniper, they channel it and I lose. Otherwise, Oh yeah, right. Lackeys are connecting. What's coming in here? Nothing. Okay, I'm at 2. Getting my face ported off here. Oh yeah, now I can't attack now. Yep, right. They paced that out well. I'm at 2. I can attack for 16. I need to daze something and then draw a removal spell. Yeah, them still being at 20, like having dealt no damage this game is a problem. I'm gonna daze this, returning my pile driver. And that gives me a land to play with next turn. Fatal Push plays here. On Fatal Push. There's only 1 in the main deck. Those are in the sideboard, right? I'm just drawing to nothing here. Okay, yeah, that's right. Gurmag Angler. I think I only have 1 of those too. Yeah, I'm out of 1 mana interactive spells. I don't believe this game's winnable. Okay. They got me. There were multiple different decision points, like turn 1, holding up Stubborn Denial on the read that they were goblins based on their username. And they are goblins. I was right about that, but they had Lackey instead of Vial. That's just like a coin flip that I lost. And not develop, like their draw really didn't go anywhere. And they drew the mana denial half, so it happens. Stubborn Denial, get out of my deck. I'm sick of seeing you. Daze also looks pretty bad. Hydroblast looks good. Plague Engineer, of course. Probably want Brazen Borrower, just as something that can interact with anything. Powder Keg. If I float that on like 2 or 3, that becomes interesting. I can't really pop it on 1 most of the time because of my own deck. Force of Will. Dazed is worse than Force of Will. Rest Down's really good. Against the Cavern deck, how do I want to do this? I think this makes sense. There are some amount of counterable spells in their deck, but they won't come up till later. I can also Wasteland a Cavern to try to pick up. I'm not sure if this matchup's good or bad, honestly. It's probably close and depends on how many cards we draw that line up well versus don't. This and beats Aether Vial, or plays against Aether Vial, and loses to Lackey. Do I want to sign up for that again? We also saw a lot of basic lands. I'm actually going to mulligan this. That's more like it. Discipline mulligan is rewarded. I'm going to bottom 1 of the shadows. I want to keep my Force Blue card up. And obviously Plague Engineer is the reason for the season here. And Brazen Borrower can bounce a Lackey. If they go Cavern Lackey again, I can bounce it on turn 2, try to set up for turn 3. If I draw Street Wraith, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's still not enough to play a turn 2 shadow. Okay, Flooded Strand, go. Don't want to get wastelanded out here. Basic land, Aether Vial. Alright, now I have the choice to Force of Will this. I think that's worth doing. Force pitching Brazen Borrower. That also loses a life, which now makes Death Shadow a 1/1 if I draw Street Wraith. Fatal Push. Alright, I'm happy to see that. I am unhappy to pass without making a play. Pretty soft to Wasteland here. Schadenport I can play through for a while. Land gets me Death Shadow. Brainstorm. I think I want to save this. So if I fetch Shock, Brainstorm, fetch Shock. Alright. I'm just going to go for it. And hope I'm not punished. Brainstorm. Give me a fetch land. Okay. Fetch land and 2 shadows. Wow. Okay. I think the Wasteland is out here. And yeah, this is actually interesting. I could hold on to Plague Engineer. I could just chuck it in the deck. They Schadenport me again. This is tricky. Right, I'm going to hold up the Fatal Push and just do shadow stuff here. Shadow related activities. I don't think this deck can make me gain life. I hope. Here comes Grove of the Burn Willows. Sucks this is a 2/2 though, that gets got by the sniper thing. Tangle Wire, wow. Respect. I like what's going on here. And it's bad for me, but I'm excited about it. I have to tap all of my permanents. Alright, fetch land's actually great. That gets my shadow out of sniper range, and I can Fatal Push something if I need to with Revolt. And it's an extra permanent for Tanglewire. So they're going to have 1 mana to work on this turn. File, okay. I am going to take a draw before I fetch. Tap my Watery Graves. I want to start attacking. Brainstorm is good. Second Shadow is better. Underground Sea, Death Shadow. We're doing it. Okay, I have creatures in play. Brainstorm and Fatal Push are good spells. You need something good, but their deck has proven to be wild. They have Tanglewire and Goblin Welder in this Goblins deck. Anything could happen. Probably just died Engineered Explosives or something here. Having the Aether Vial is refreshingly honest. Don't have to think about that for a turn cycle. Matron, alright. What's the poison? War Chief, okay. Oh god, Wasteland. Not want to play against that today. Okay. Do I want to keep my foot on the gas or tap one of the shadows, wait a turn? Tapping lands. Out of here. Plague Engineer, what's up? Okay, I'm going to Brainstorm. I can't Fatal Push any of the things I've seen without a fetch land anyway. Hymn to Tarak and Thoughtseize can go back. I want to attack with one of these. I'm going to leave one back. We just saw a haste creature. That might be getting like Goblin Welder to flip. Like that gives Goblin Welder haste. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just going to try to be careful here. But I am holding Plague Engineer in case that becomes part of the game plan. Thoughtseize checks their hand and makes my shadows big enough to really pound. If they have War Chief and Munitions Expert this turn, that sucks. Alright, Conspicuous Snoop can cast Matron from the top of the deck. That's rough too. But I can push a Snoop. They are playing the Matron from the top of the deck. Makes sense. Depending on what they search for, I have the option to tap a Death Shadow to Tanglewire and then Fatal Push, Thoughtseize, Brainstorm. Or I could tap a land and Thoughtseize, Brainstorm, or Twin Shot Sniper's on top. That one's a little scary. Is that one a little scary? Do I care? Not convinced that I care. What happens if I tap a land and just bash here? I can file in War Chief, cast Twin Shot Sniper. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. Not lethal. I think I'm going to tap a land and try to save Plague Engineer for down the road. Okay, I want to like Fatal Push on Thoughtseize this turn. I want to get this Snoop out of the way. Thoughtseize you. Almost certainly taking Ringleader here. A Pile Driver. That thing has haste. Okay. I'm taking the Ringleader, Pile Driver, Twin Shot Sniper, and I tangle with a Pile Driver. Do I have to leave Snoop play here? Could wait for the draw step, but that lets Snoop do something. If it hits a like a welder on top, that's actually kind of rough. If it just misses, I don't care. All right, I'm gonna wait for the draw step recklessly. Draw step, please don't punish me. Just show me a land on top. Oh, okay. All right, I'm gonna Fatal Push the Snoop. They went for the Rashad Port right here. That makes sense. Right, they're drawing Archer. They left up exactly enough mana to file in War Chief and Pile Drive. I know their whole hand right now. Plague Engineer, or the Archer can kill Plague Engineer, but it's going to wipe out these Matrons on the way through. Reducing the number of goblins that exist for Pile Driver is important. Okay, here's Pile Driver. Here's the whole hand. They have the Archer still over there. Oh, wow. Attacking with everything? Okay. That's interesting. Just trading off with a Shadow. Giving me a 7/7. Alright. That they're gonna need a good draw to stay competitive here. I'm gonna wipe out the 2 Matrons. Oh, the Hymn to Tarak's interesting. I could take out the Archer. I could Brainstorm, take out the Archer, leave them in top deck mode again. Save Plague Engineer for when I know they can't answer it. Does that matter? I'm gonna Brainstorm. A second Plague Engineer. I can hide both of these on top. Plague Engineer is on top. I'm gonna him to Turok them now. Get rid of that guy. They're on a 2-turn clock. Don't have haste. Ringleader. Picking Ringleader off the top, Violet in, find War Chief, and Pile Driver kills me. But I'm just gonna bet. Alright. Gonna put you dead on board. You don't know that Plague Engineer. I guess if they don't draw anything, they can Rashad and Port. Any attacks they make. Okay, cool. Left Vial on 3. Means the scariest things won't happen to me. Uh-oh. Lackey. Okay. Okay, I can Hydroblast now using this mana, which is the most efficient thing. Alright, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna kill the Lackey because that's the scarier one. Then I'm drawing Plague Engineer, and I can ponder into Fatal Push or Snuff Out and win. Murktide Regent, Powder Keg. I actually don't want any of these cards. Shuffle it up. This land gets me Plague Engineer next turn. They are Hellbent and have to block. I'm just going to keep bashing. I'll play my land and pass. Okay, hope some big scary haste thing doesn't come out of here. Detect the Vial up to 4. They're ready to spike all the best cards. Oh no. Matron. Oh no, Matron gets Ringleader or worse. Uh-oh. This could be bad. There's something worse than Ringleader here for me. Is there a 4-drop that just kills me? Twin Shot Sniper puts me to 2. Yeah, Ringleader is the grab. Uh-oh. Maybe I shouldn't have attacked. Agus and the Moon, Siege Gang Commander. Alright, just Siege Gang Commander in hand. Alright, if Ringleader attacks, I win. If it doesn't, we're playing some more turns. Okay, cool. Alright, I'm going to be at 3. I can wipe out all their X1s, and then they die. Okay. Ooh, that was scary. Fucking goblins, man. And here is the thing they didn't want me to have. Exciting, because I have to do this turn, because next turn they can Vial in Siege Gang Commander, and even through the Plague Engineer, deal 4 to me with the mana they have available. A thrilling match. Yeah, that was sweet. Nice back and forth, some mana control, work through a Tangle Wire. Yikes. Daze is even worse on the draw than it is on the play, but knowing that they have Tangle Wire in their deck, what the hell, by the way. Urkel's Recall is kind of interesting, knowing they have Tangle Wire and the Aether Vials and enough artifacts to apparently support Goblin Engineer. There might be something there. I don't think so, but it's possible. I think I just want to play normal Magic for the most part. I don't want to get too deep into their weird game. I think I can overpower most of the things they do. And I think maybe I do want to keep the Daze. If, like, Tangle Wire is a weird card that is expensive and Cavern can't really protect. Yeah, same deck, let's go. The 1-of Daze will keep me alive. Guarantee it. This is tragically a mulligan. Can't rely on Force of Will to get the job done. Here we go. First appearance of Snuff Out. Keep this hand. Put Watery Grave on the bottom. Let's go. Yep. Mulligan the Force. So I don't have an answer to that. This extra land is nice. That means I can ponder without being too worried about it. I do want to be chasing my Death Shadow here. That card is very important to the matchup. Another Snuff Out and a Thoughtseize. It's a lot of Snuff Outs, but that card's also really good. Alright, I don't want this 3rd land. I will take the removal spell and the discard spell. This way, even if they wasteland me here, I'll have something to do with my mana. Having double Snuff Out, I'm probably going to slow down on shock lands, though. Go for Underground Sea. Do I want to fire off this Brainstorm? Oh, wow. They're just letting me him to Turok them? Or do I want to Thoughtseize first? I'm going to Thoughtseize. The strange Rashad and Port non-activation. What does that mean? So I'm going to find out in a second. Must have some 2-mana spell they wanted to hold up, or like a Pyroblast or something. Twin Shot Sniper, okay. I mean, Twin Shot Sniper makes sense as a thing to take. War Chief's really good, but I can snuff that out. Sniper has other text on it. Yeah, I'm just going to take the Sniper. I'm going to snuff this Lackey out immediately. Let you know that's not going to happen. They'll probably port my fetch land in the end step because it's a free roll. Makes this Brainstorm worse, but This is what I wanted to do anyway, so not a huge deal. But it's free for them to do that. They don't have the land for War Chief right now, and these siege gangs are miles away. Like, this Hymn to Tarok could be huge. Yeah, they found the land. Chose not to go for it. Cool. I'll probably brainstorm with the port mana this turn. Yeah, send that for a ride. Underground Sea, go back, and Brainstorm can go back. Then I draw the Brainstorm for turn, fetch for the Underground Sea, and hit you with a Hymn to Tarok. I'd like to see the War Chief go here. All right, we got it. There is Siege Gang Commander in their hand right now. I have Snuff Out for the next thing. I am at 9, though. Snuff Out puts me to 5. If they get up to this Siege Gang, and Vial is just ticking endlessly forward. Snoop is a little scary. Oh, Crater Maker. That doesn't have targets. Okay. I can Fatal Push that before it's a problem. Thoughtseize. Do I care? I want to put a creature into play right now. I need to start attacking while they're weak. Oh no. Force of Will and Thoughtseize. Do I want to get rid of Street Wraith, or do I want to Thoughtseize them? Is Siege Gang Commander something I want to think about? Or do I want to draw a fresh card with Street Wraith? This Thoughtseize plus Fetch Land and the Snuff Out. That's a lot to ask. Okay. I'm gonna fetch and get a tap land. And Street Wraith, I'm at 6. Scary. Brainstorm's good. But at this point, I'm locked into this Fatal Push. Brainstorm can't do everything it needs to do right now. Snuff Out puts me to 2, which is dead to Sniper or a Siege Gang activation. I know Goblin Crater Maker is their hand. Okay. I'm in danger. Come on, Death Shadow, Gurmag Angler, Murktide Regent. I'm not picky. Let's go. Okay, there's some Murktide Regents. I want one of these now and the other one next turn for just maximum size. Is it too late for Snuff Out? Am I dead? Yeah, I'm not in good shape. I'm going to put back Force of Will and Snuff Out and play Murktide Regent. Needs to be a 5/5. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I can make it 1 bigger than that. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get a maximum size Murktide next turn as well. I'm in a lot of trouble right now. Because they can Violent Siege Gang, which can sacrifice 1 goblin this turn, attack with all the goblins next turn. Alright, now it can sacrifice 2 goblins this turn. Yeah, I'm just like dead in 1 turn cycle if I don't answer Siege Gang. Get the Watery Grave tapped. Let's see if they want to go Mana Denial. Oh god, I'm just dead now if I Street Wraith. Yeah, I've just lost the game here. Maybe I needed that Thoughtseize for the Siege Gang. Murktide can attack for 11 right now, but that's not the same as 20. And they have plenty of goblins to sacrifice. I can cycle Street Wraith and hope they mess up. I don't even know if that's possible. Me just sitting at 3 though. Like the play is to respond and kill me, but yeah. Nothing I can do here. 2 damage in the end step, and then another 1 damage next turn. I just have to cycle Street Wraith and hope they fuck up. Probably just gonna kill me in response. Yep, here it is. Okay. Yeah, that was cool. That decision to get rid of Thoughtseize when like Vial was on 2 and they had 2 lands, and I was like, I think I can ignore Street Wraith and just focus on finding a creature. If I found a creature 1 turn earlier and their life total was lower, maybe we win that one. But yeah, that was a really tight match. Really good stuff. On to the final round. For the absolute best Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, check out the link in the video description to coalesceapparel.shop. And be sure to use the code BoshNRoll for 10% off when you check out. I'm on the draw in the final round, playing for that positive record. I'm going to keep this hand. It's a 1-lander, but it's got cantrips and tons of interaction. A Bayou. Uh-oh. Ignoble Hierarch. Okay. I can snuff that out if necessary. I'd like to Thoughtseize my opponent and know what's going on. This hand deals enough damage to me that I'm just going to get Underground Sea. The double Thoughtseize Street Wraith, Snuff Out business. That's a lot going on. Pernicious Deed, of course there's a wasteland there. Fuck my life. Abrupt Decay, Punishing Fire. Alright, this deck is a disaster, but it is going to line up well against what I'm doing here. I want to get rid of this Abrupt Decay. And Punishing Fire indicates that they're also a Grove of the Burn Willows deck. Alright, cycle Street Wraith. Cycle another Street Wraith. Race to the bottom. Alright, found a land. That'll show you. I'm going to snuff out this Ignoble Hierarch. I'm at 9. Let's party. Drawing Death Shadow here would be hot. It's so big. Successfully dealt 11 to myself. It could have been 13 if I fetched a shock land. Into Turok. Good shit. I am going to cast Ponder here to make sure that this game remains functional. There's nothing in their hand I need to Thoughtseize right now. Okay, here we go. Found another land and a threat that does not get fired or deeded. I have Daze and Force to push through if they find another land. Alright, not only another land, but it's Grove. We're having a good time. Wither Bloom Apprentice. Alright, I'm going to Daze this. Am I going to Daze this? Yeah. I don't want to just like randomly lose. I guess it's hard to randomly lose though, because that's how that combo works. And by that I mean poorly. They have to go Hellbent or you actually game. I'm going to delve creatures and lands first. Leave the spells in there for Gurmag Angler. Or for Murktide Regent as much as I can. Okay, let's see if this holds up. If they miss a land drop, their hand just doesn't do anything. If they have the land drop, then Eternal Witness, Jesus, okay. Eternal Witness can get back whatever here. Abrupt Decay doesn't work. They could grab a Wasteland. Probably want to go for Wither Bloom. They could also just invest in Deed and try to get up to 7. I don't think that's the play. I am likely to him to Turok them, no matter what here. Okay. Fine. What are we going for? Do you think you're a prison deck, or do you think you need to combo me out? We are going for the Apprentice. Okay, that card's in your hand now. That's a good draw. Attack with my Gurmag, see if they're interested in blocking yet. They're not. If I play Watery Grave, I'm at 6. If I him to Turok them, and I miss on Punishing Fire, their only red source gains me life. I'm just going in here. Relentless. Him to Turok time. Hope I miss the Punishing Fire. Or I hope... I don't even know what I need to happen here. Like, I don't really care about Pernicious Deed. Okay. Yeah, I left them with Pernicious Deed, which is actually the card I care the least about, I think. They're going to put me to 4. The race is on. Pernicious Deed and 1 mystery card in hand. They can regrow Punishing Fire. Oh, they drew a spell. Cool. Not only a spell, but a card that trades with Gurmag Angler. This is an outrage. I'm dead to a red source now. My life is crumbling before me. Alright, I can't Thoughtseize or fetch anymore. I'm gonna Ponder and shuffle these cards away. None of these work. God. This has been a disaster, this whole game. If I don't... Alright, I'm not gonna leave myself dead to a red source. I'm just gonna pass. Yep, drew the red source. Played around it. They have drawn every single card that is perfect for the entire game. Just Thoughtseize him to Turok you. Still dead, don't care. My god. Okay, I'm at 2. What am I even looking for here? Like, Murktide Regent? It's not that. I'm dead to that. Don't play a Shadow Spear. Death Shadow, I guess. It's quite a good one. And Murktide Regent behind it. Yeah, I'm gonna attack, see if they wanna F around and find out. Oh wait. They have Pernicious Deed. Oh, I'm just dead if I attack. Oh, if they... Oh my god, this Pernicious Deed is somehow just the perfect card with the dust settling here. Just still the nuts. Okay, Death Shadow, get into play. I guess I'll play this land, even though I'm not going to use fucking Pernicious Deed. This has been a study in... I don't know. I'm not tilted. Just, if it sounds like I'm complaining, I'm not. I'm just observing and labeling the things that I see, which is that I've had perfect information for this entire game, and every single thing that has kept this game to the point where I'm behind has come right off the top in the order that it needed to happen. Like, if they just draw a Plague Engineer the turn before they draw land number 3, then they're a turn behind on this whole game and just dead already. If Imda Tarak took the Pernicious Deed, I'm good. There's just a lot of stuff going on here. Okay, they drew Witherbloom Apprentice. Does that kill me? It does. Yeah, they regrow Punishing Fire and then Witherbloom Apprentice. So I can't. All right, I have to fetch here because Murktide Regent doesn't win me the game. Because the Punishing Fire drains me for 1 off of Witherbloom Apprentice. All right, yeah, I have to fetch. Which leaves me dead to the Punishing Fire straight up. Unless I draw Stubborn Denial. Brainstorm, save me. Stubborn Denial, let's go. Ooh. I can force a block. No, I can't really do anything. This sucks. Okay. There's 2 creatures here. Because I fetched, I'm exactly dead in every different direction. If I attack with both creatures, they'll probably block with Eternal Witness. I can force a block on one of these, but it doesn't matter because I'm dead to the other one. Yeah, crazy. Absolutely insane how perfectly. I think if you played a million games of Magic, you'd never see anything line up this perfectly wrong ever again. And I'm not even gonna Brazen Borrow because it doesn't matter. I'm at 2 to the Punishing Fire, even without the trigger. Insane. Okay. I'm conceding. Unreal game. I'm happy for my opponent. Like, if I were in their seat, just flying by the skin of my ass, dead every turn, but then ripping the perfect card every turn. Good for you. Genuinely good for you. I'm excited for you. Okay. Fatal Push, Brazen Borrower. Is Plague Engineer something I want? Plague Engineer doesn't really do anything. I could name like Human or Shaman to take out Eternal Witness. We've seen them with their own Plague Engineers. Force of Negation does get rid of Punishing Fire, so does Surgical. Oh, we saw 2 different graveyard things. We saw Surgical. We saw Eternal Witness and Punishing Fire, both of which I'm intrigued by. Stubborn Denial would have done well. Maybe I have to just like be more careful with my life total. Snuff out. Witherbloom Apprentice is a black creature, so I can't target the #1 creature. And their land count seemed really bad. Is this a Nick Fit deck though? All right, like if they have the Veteran Explorer, this is all or not. Maybe this is a Court of Cunning matchup. Dude, my creatures seem better than theirs. They do have Ignoble Hierarch and all that other shit though. Yeah, maybe I need a backup plan here. I don't know. Dress Down doesn't really. I guess Witherbloom Apprentice. Yeah, Dress Down does work. All right, I'm gonna shave another Daze, and I'm bringing in these interactive spells. Okay, let's do it this way. Pernicious Deed is scary. I felt like that was our game to get away with, and it did not work. Okay, I'm gonna keep. Sucks knowing they're also a Wasteland deck. What the hell? It is my instinct to ponder and set up lands first, so that's what I'm gonna do. And I am holding the Shadow, so I will get Watery Grave. Get my mana set up here. Show me another land. Or don't, you know, that's cool too. Shuffle it up. Alright, Dead to Wasteland. Let's party. Oh yeah. Yes. Yes. Alright, land off the top, please. Land that taps for mana off the top, please. There's a pause right now, like they're thinking about surgicaling my Watery Grave. Alright, I specifically said land off the top that makes mana, and it gave me Wasteland. The Shuffler is rigged. Okay. Thought seizing me. You got it. Took my Brainstorm. Probably a good call. Alright, come on, deck. I don't need to Wasteland them now, because, alright, I can just do it on my turn. And guess I'm doing it. Life is pain. We have a Taiga King over there. Okay. I was never worried, were you? No sweat. I'm gonna get a Watery Grave. And I'm gonna ponder. I want to keep these coming. No. If I shuffle that, Wasteland's not what I want. Oh no, oh no. That's not a Wasteland. That's a Sylvan Library though. Can't beat that either. My god. Thought seizing an opponent with Sylvan Library in play feels good, let me tell you. And I could have stopped that if I thought seized last turn, I guess. But trying to hit the land drop off Ponder that did not deliver. It paid an extra 4. At Verdant Catacombs, which is not the land that I saw last turn. We're going to see whatever 2 cards they got here. Verdant Catacombs was one of them, and they're looks like they're gearing up for some 3-drop. Okay, Thoughtseize, that's fine. Not a huge deal. They have 2 answers in hand to Death Shadow, both of which are uncounterable. Murktide Regent, good shit. You just flush out one of these answers, I guess. But at exactly 12, if they find a Grove of the Burn Willows, I lose my Shadow for totally free, so I should Thoughtseize here. I think I want to take Sudden Edict. Abrupt Decay can hit the Court, but I'm thousands of years away from playing Court. I guess I can't really counter any of these. It doesn't matter. And if they somehow whiff, and I draw a land right now, and I can Thoughtseize the Abrupt Decay and play my Death Shadow, there's a path into this game. Okay, deck, I'm done farting around. Give me the mana to cast this Murktide Regent, and then we'll be chilling. Yeah, Edict kills Murktide Regent. Abrupt Decay does not. Opponent just reanimated my Death Shadow. Great. Well, staying alive. I'm doing this now. I don't know if they have Veil of Summer in their deck or any such thing, but I'm just not messing around with it. Drawing a card with Nurturing Peatland in the end step. It is interesting they went for my Shadow instead of Witherbloom Apprentice, so I guess they represent a similar clock. Witherbloom Apprentice is the possibility of a 1-turn clock, and Shadow was a guaranteed 2-turn. Yeah, I probably would have got Shadow too. Didn't take any extra cards. Reanimated Witherbloom Apprentice. Okay, so they found the thing. Perfect. Okay. You did it. That was among the least satisfying matches I played in a long time. But my opponent's deck did what it was supposed to do, and my deck did not. Unfortunate 2-3 record on the board with Death Shadow. We tore apart 2 combo decks in a row, and then we got torn apart by 2 removal decks, and we had a really close match against Goblins that could have gone my way with different decisions. I'm not going to call them punts. It was just like deciding which thing I want to push towards and like how I want to map out the game and which side of their deck presents itself. And I just chose wrong in the Goblin matchup. I'm not going to lose sleep over that. But the Pernicious Deed, Abrupt Decay, Sudden Edict deck, and the Swords to Plowshares, Sudden Edict, Snapcaster Mage, Kolagod's Command deck, we're probably not beating those most of the time. Did take some fortunate rips in the right order for the Jund player to beat us, but that deck seems like it would be a nightmare matchup all the same. We did not play against Delver, of course. The reason this deck is appearing in the metagame is because it's probably good against Delver, and we're just not pairing into it, which is fine. All the cards make sense in the deck. I have no critique of like, oh, this didn't feel good or the numbers felt wrong, and everything here makes sense and story checks out to me. I can see how this would work in the correct field, and I can see how it could fall apart and you just 0-2 drop, go home early in the wrong field. This is not a well-rounded legacy deck. It's a meta call for the world we live in right now, and the floor in your bad matchups is the fact that you're a 4 Thoughtseize to him to Turok 4 Force of Will deck with a clock, and that does present a pretty high floor even in the air quotes bad matchups. But if things don't go your way and you start falling behind, this deck's really bad at catching up against those tougher matchups. I'm going to leave this here. Spunky, thank you for asking me to play this. Lee Ji Sung, thank you for being a Shadow fan and a fan of the channel. Hope you're doing well over there in the Korean army. Shout out to the rest of the Korean army while we're here. What's up, guys? Also going to shout out Coalesce Apparel. Use the code BoshNRoll to buy some cool shirts and stickers. BoshNRoll community on Discord. Check out the Patreon, Eternal Glory podcast. Check that out. All those links are in the video description. I'm out for today. See you next time.